Welcome to Spiritual Vacancy. This is a podcast to help fill your spiritual void. We discuss everything from psychic mediums, Reiki practitioners, palmistry, astrology, all the way to aliens and religion. We hope you can join us every week as we dive into topics of the sometimes unknown and, of course, the other side. We hope you enjoy today's episode. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are listening in at, whatever time it is where you're at, I welcome you in. And today I'm just going to be kind of talking about all things that have been on my mind lately that I want to share, or things that maybe I feel like somebody might need to hear today. So there's been like a lot of drama on TikTok about a medium on there. His name is Medium Dean, Psychic Medium Dean. And when I first saw him, his readings like blew me away. He did an event on TikTok and he was at a public, it looked like a public event with, maybe a couple hundred people there, maybe like 150. I don't know how many exact, I didn't count. And his accuracy with like names and dates and the day that they passed away and the day of their birthday and like other significant, like to the day, like October 7th is when he passed. And it's like, that's crazy that he's so accurate. And then in one, I was watching where he goes, "Oh, yes, your children, they're named Cullum." And I'm like, Cullum? Like, how would you even know that? Like, if you're a medium, because spirit doesn't communicate in the same ways as, you and I do as we're sitting, listening, or talking. They communicate in, like, you can hear them, but usually it's not that clear where spirit is saying, "Hi, I'm your father, Patrick. I passed on October 7th, and I have two children named Cullum and Callum, or whatever," right? And it was fascinating to me because I'm like, wow, I have studied with some of the best mediums ever, and they've never gotten anything close to that, where it is like this person is having a full-on conversation in a whole different way than I'm used to because we are communicating with energy, right? And you have to kind of shift the energy, and you got to remember your loved ones don't have a mouth anymore when they depart, but their soul is still present. So it's a different kind of communication. And I was just kind of like in awe. And I'm like, wow, where did this guy come from? And like, if he's this good, that's insane. Like, truly, like, fascinating, right? Like, just insanely good. But now it's so disheartening because now people have debunked him, where everything he says is on their social media page, like verbatim almost. Like there was somebody, I saw these debunking videos and there was somebody that had four children, right? He said the children's name exactly how it was in the obituary, in the same order of the people still living, and then the dates. And there's not like a lot of personal information, right? It's like as I'm going back looking at his readings, it's like, okay, so I have a father here. He passed on this date. He was like this. Like it was very much like obituary like reading, right? Like it was odd. It was weird how when I look back at it, I'm like, that is odd. And it's odd that the dates, and he specifically knew, and he actually corrected somebody about when they departed and the date. And then, I mean, that's her loved one, and any medium doesn't work that way. Like they're not gonna correct you and correct you on their loved one. They're just gonna say, okay, I saw it like this, or and him being so like so spot on, and the names being so significant and so correct, just like mind blown. And there was one where he was doing it and they were, going back and forth because trust me, if you're on TikTok and you are doing some shady shit, they are going to find out. These people should work for the FBI because they are so good at finding even criminals or killers or whatever it might be. They're so good at, people are so intelligent on there and so good at investigation work. But there was one where this person was showing side by side where he was doing an event And mind you, this is what made me like, this was my aha moment. Like, oh my God, he is stealing their information from online and using it in a group setting. And the lady, her grandmother had passed away. And in the Facebook post, it said, "We will miss you, Nanny B." Just the letter B. No name, no nothing, just Nanny B. And he's English, right? Like he's from the UK. So nanny, I guess, is like, I don't know if that's for grandma or what, but it said Nanny B. So then when he's talking to her at the event, he goes, "Yes, her name is Nanny B." And she goes, "Yeah, it's Nanny Barb." And I'm like, but if he's so good with names, why did he say Barb and just why did he just leave it at Nanny B? Because Nanny B was actually on the Facebook page, not Nanny Barb. That right there, I'm like, but he can pull out Cullum. He knows Cullum. Cullum sounds like column. Like I've never met anybody in my life with the name Cullum, which not saying that obviously there are people named that, but it's not familiar to me. So such a random name to get right. And then like all the names being so spot on, which is almost unheard of. But they're finding out more and more, and people are coming out of like, the woodwork talking about how they felt like he stole all their information when they gave him readings. So one lady had talked about she had a one-on-one with him and she felt like the information was super basic and that she felt like a lot of it was from her social media. There was nothing like really in depth or is something that he wouldn't have known from a social media profile. And he ended up blocking her after she said that. And she actually had tickets to a show of his. He refunded the tickets, blocked her from the show, told her she couldn't come. And I'm like, that seems kind of extreme for. So the reading didn't sit well. No medium's perfect. No worries. Just refund the money and move on, right? But to like go to the extent of like refunding her tickets for the show, refunding her the money and then blocking her is so weird. It's a little much. And then a lot of people are coming out saying that when they book for a public event, he is the one that actually sells the tickets, not the event. And there's all these rules. So it's like he has to know. So like say you book tickets for his event and there's six of you, right? And you have six tickets. He has to know everybody's name for each ticket, which I find that odd. And then they have to know like a week before, 2 days before, the day of, and to confirm that everybody's name that they said that was coming. And that's odd because most mediums, they don't need a name. They don't even care who's coming. They don't even care if you show up. You don't even have to confirm. But it's weird that he's confirming that you are going to be there that much. Like, are you any change of plans or any of this? Like, if people bought a ticket, they're either going to come or go, and their loved ones are going to show up no matter what. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter if anybody shows up or like say like one person can't go because there's no refund. So now there's only like five people out of the party of six out of the 150. But they're kind of saying like, he's making sure that the people that he's researched are showing up to make sure that they're there. So it would be interesting to see if like somebody has like a fake Facebook profile and does the same thing that they did to Thomas John, because they did that to him too, and he failed miserably. And that is why I like doing events that I'm not even over, that I'm not a part of, that I let the venue book everybody. Like, that's great. I just like to show up and work. I don't need to know who's there. I don't care. Like, yeah, I had a event at my restaurant where I sold tickets. People bought multiple tickets. I never once asked who was coming with them. I mean, people could have bought them for somebody else. I don't care. It doesn't matter. They could have had a change of name at the last minute. It doesn't matter because their loved ones are going to show up no matter what. So that's like some drama going on. So it's just so disheartening that like people actually take advantage of people that are grieving in such a bad way too. And he doesn't do one-on-ones anymore. And they also said if your social is like locked down, he won't respond, or he also like maybe won't sell tickets, or and this is very odd, right? It's just very odd behavior for somebody that gets information so accurate. You have to kind of be like, Hmm. Not saying there aren't accurate mediums. Like I feel like I'm pretty accurate, but I'm not perfect, and I definitely struggle with names because I haven't heard every name that there ever was, and it's just kind of like the ones I'm familiar with. I know, right? I can get an initial, but I might not get the name, and that's okay. So that is something that's been kind of like on my mind lately because it's kind of new and fresh, and then it made me think about like with a session I had this lady and she goes, "Well, why don't they just tell you their name?" And I'm like, "Because it's not really that easy. Like I'm talking to somebody that doesn't have a mouth anymore. They don't have the physical body. It's not like, they're not sitting across from me like you are sitting. But I mean, if you understand 95% of the information, then I did a really good job for your loved ones in spirit because it's not my story. It's not my life. I'm just trying to relay the message that they see you, they're around you, that they love you. And that can be challenging in itself because, like I said, they don't have a body anymore. They don't have the physical form. So they communicate in different ways and they use all of your senses and your clairs. So your sight, your hearing, your feeling, your knowing, like all of it, right? So it's just a different way to communicate. So when someone is that accurate, like I was blown away, but now as I'm looking back, I'm like, I don't know. Now I'm definitely having doubts with like people coming out and just saying like, it is a little too generic of information. Like it's on point, but it's almost on point where there's nothing else to it, if that makes sense. So I always say, like, make sure who you're going to see is actually legit. They don't ask you for specifics. They don't need to know, like, if you're even on social media. I have people that will book a session for somebody and they drop them off at my place and then pick them up in an hour. I don't even know their name. I don't even know who they are. I don't even know what you look like before you come to see me. And it doesn't matter. And that's also why I love doing groups, like private groups. You have a host, they book the group, and then they invite whoever. There's no searching. I have no idea who their names are. I know who the host is, obviously, but those go through like either email or a text. I don't need their social. I don't need them to message me on any kind of social media platform. I just need a contact to confirm that they agree with the agreements of how I work, and that's like price, time, date, stuff like that. And then it's booked, and I don't even think about it again, right? And of course, there's like a mosquito flying around my face. Um, so yeah, so that's why it's just like be very leery about people that are almost like too accurate or if they need too much information before a session because that is a lot. And I just watched this podcast where I actually agree with the lady. So this lady, I don't know what, I'll have to look up the podcast name and put it in the title because it's really good. So she is a podcast host. Oh, it's called Psychics Exposed. Analyzing ratings from six psychics. Oh, that's not it. That's the episode. Sorry. Um, Let me view her channel. Oh gosh, I don't even know if I can pronounce this. It's called Fluero's Fluero's Phantom Files, right? Fluero's Phantom Files. So she was actually like raised as a psychic. Like her mom was a psychic. She was raised into that lifestyle of her thinking she was a psychic. And then I guess as she aged, she's thought like it's all fake, or maybe her mom was fake, and she's just like changed her opinion on a lot of stuff. I still think she believes in it to an extent, but maybe growing up in that type of environment where you're so much around it, and if you have somebody that just completely fakes it, I mean, that would be hard too, I guess. I don't know because I've never experienced that, so I have no idea what that would be like. But she is talking about some like famous mediums, and there is one on TikTok that she talks about, and I agree with her 1,000%. I think the medium is completely fake. She has like over 3 million followers. She has over 1,000 five-star reviews, which trips me out because I am like, why I have listened to her sessions on her YouTube channel. Her name is the Bolesky or Bale Sky or something like that, right? She charges $750 for an hour mediumship reading. $750. She's booked a year and a half out. And if you listen to her YouTubes, she records her uh readings that are only done over Zoom, excuse me. She doesn't do any in-person readings. She's never done a public event. She's never done a mediumship demonstration, which is already like red flag, right? You only do everything on Zoom. You have to have a photo of your loved one. You have to have a name. You have to give your birth date. There's all these things that you have to give to have a reading with her, and I think it's so unnecessary because I feel like she's digging. But then it makes me feel like she's not digging because she's so inaccurate and her readings are super basic for the price because she already knows who you want to connect with. So she's like, "Oh, I have your dad here." Well, they had to send in a photo. And then she'll say things like, "Oh my gosh, he had cancer." And they're like, "No, he had a heart attack." And she goes, "Oh, that's why he was showing me he had a heart attack." And I'm like, "What? She never said that. Like, that never came into play." And I already have this on another episode about, debunking fake psychic medium, stuff like that, right? Or how to tell if a medium's fake. Well, this lady talks about her too. And me being a medium, me being a professional medium, I'm sure that is weird that I agree with this woman who is like debunking mediums on TikTok. But I agree with her. You should not have a spirit box. There are things you shouldn't do. You should never contact people or act like you're contacting people's loved ones that you don't have permission to. So like I had a lady not message me, but she wrote on a comment on my TikTok, and there is the Amy Bradley case going on right now with the woman that, went missing from the cruise ship. It's a Netflix documentary. I actually have a client that is friends with her brother and her family, and they live in Virginia. And she goes, "I would love for you to do a reading for Brad." And I'm like, "No, I feel like if he wants to have a reading, he will reach out to me. I do not do unsolicited readings. This is these people's loved ones. It's not okay for people to just sit online and say they're connecting to her or to whoever, right? Whoever lost a loved one. These are these people's loved ones. They know them. There's emotions. And if anybody were to contact me, it would be done privately. I don't talk about my sessions. I don't want to talk about my sessions. It's not my story to talk about. And I find it so disrespectful when mediums go online and they share their views or thoughts or what it is about somebody's loved one and nobody asks them. And I'm like, how would you feel if that was your loved one and you have like 500 people talking about how your loved one might be dead or might be alive and you didn't ask for any of that? It is so disrespectful. It is so rude. And that woman talks about it too. And I'm like, yes, it is. It is so rude. I mean, I did that event at my restaurant. And when they signed up, it was for a charity. They knew it was going to be recorded. I have an hour and a half of footage of me working, connecting to spirit, and I still haven't shared it. And that's in January, and I don't think I will. To me, it is so personal, even though it's in a group setting and there's a lot of people there. I still feel almost like I'm violating something by sharing all of these messages or putting myself out there because I don't have anything to prove. I feel like my word of mouth, my reputation, where I live, my referrals, that is the proof in itself. I don't have to show like how I work or what I do to prove to anybody. I don't want to have to feel like I have to prove that I'm a good medium or prove that I know what I'm doing. And I feel like so many do like feel like they have to prove that they can connect or they can do this, but I'm like, we can all do this. We are all energy. We can all do this. I mean, it just depends on if you want to study it, right? If you want to do it, but I also feel like you should do it ethically. And it just grosses me out when people do it for like views or fame or to like raise them up or people like, I'm a medium, I'm an evidential medium, and I did. And it's like, really? Are you though? have you actually studied? Have you put the work in? Or did you just study for like a year and then you're like, okay, I can do this. But like literally your reading suck. Like everything about what you do is terrible. And you're not doing any kind of service for the person sitting across from you, right? Because mediumship should take years to develop, to dive into. It is not an overnight thing. There are so many things with mediumship, and it's not a joke. And I feel like the ones that take it for granted or feel like it's a joke or not as serious, they don't last long. They do not last long in this community. They might have a great online presence, but like, so it's not going to last in the real world because I can tell you, if they've never done sessions sitting in front of people, it's a whole different feeling. And people will judge you and talk bad about you if you do not do a good job. So you want to make sure you know what you're doing, you are confident in what you're doing, but you also respect what you're doing and respect yourself because that is what it's about. So I want to touch on that. If anybody wants the podcast, I can link it, or I think, or I'll just put it in the comments because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that episode about her debunking psychics because I feel like that's my mind too. I feel like I want to debunk other people. And like sometimes I'm like, I don't even know how I know this information, but I do know that I don't Google and I do know I don't search and I do know that I can do it with nothing because I do public events that I am not over. I have no control over. I just show up and work. I would have no clue as who's coming or who's not coming. There might be one person coming, there might be 50, and I have no idea. I don't know because it's not my event. And that's what's so great about it. And that's why I trust in spirit and I trust our loved ones. And, also like with paranormal hunting or and investigations, I love it. I am like obsessed with talking to dead people. And the next one I want to do is where so we went to the Blue Ball Inn and we still have to like go through so much evidence and so much video. It's insane. We have hours and we all have jobs. So like we're all working or life or busy and we don't have time to like sit down and like literally spend a whole day watching all this footage, right? That Jen was recording the whole time. But what is cool is I got to go in to it kind of blindly. Like I knew where we were going. I knew the house was built in the 1700s. I didn't want to know any history about it. And then Jen and Lee went in like an hour ahead of me. I sat in the car and then I got to go in. But the next investigation I want to do, that's not like guided or public. Um, I don't like that they tell you everything in a guided and public investigation, which is fine because that's just part of it. But the next one, I want them to just like pick me up. They drive. I have no clue I don't know if it's in South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia. Like, I have no idea. That's what I want to do. I just want to go and I want them to just take me there. Take me to wherever I'm going, almost like blindfolded, take the blindfold off, see what I pick up, and not know nothing. That is my next goal. I'm so looking forward to that. And I was supposed to say, paranormal investigating is so fun. If you guys have not done it, you should do it, but take the fear away because they are just trying to let you know that they're okay, that they're there. It might be their house. But I feel like for TV, it goes into oh, it's a skinwalker. Oh, it's a shadow person. Well, might be a shadow person, yeah, because, you're in a haunted place. But that doesn't mean that it's evil, right? And when we were at the Blue Ball Inn, they were talking about this doll. Okay, the doll was like so ugly. It looks like some kind of like, what's that guy from Shrek with the Lord Farquaad. That's what the doll reminded me with its bangs and stuff. And it was saying, like they were saying that it had like entities attached to it and stuff like that. And I picked it up and I felt nothing. I felt like nothing connected to the doll. But I also feel like a lot of people make shit up as they go. So I'm just like, is it like really the doll or like what is it? Like what are they doing here? Like I don't know, but like we had the doll at the table and I was like playing with its arms. It was like super stiff. But like no feeling, nothing happened, nothing. It just is odd, right? I mean, it's just like people get so like attached to like there's a spirit in the doll. Like dolls are creepy. Yes, they are creepy. There are a lot of creepy dolls. Do I think like entities like hang out in there? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, a spirit is so much bigger than a doll, right? Like maybe they like the doll, but I can't imagine them like just putting their big soul and their big self in the doll and just hanging out with the doll. That is hard for me. Like, I don't know about that one. I'm like, but people believe this stuff, right? And like there was one time where we were doing a paranormal investigator and one of the group tours was like, "Oh, there's all these chickens here." And I'm like, "Why are there chickens in an old jail? Like spirits of chickens?" And she goes, "Oh, I brought them here." And I'm like, "So you like connected to chickens?" And she goes, "No." It like make it make sense, right? Like why are there chickens there then? Like why would you are you just making that shit up to sound cool? Are you just like fooling yourself? Like I don't understand what it is. Like is it just for the show of it? I mean, are you just saying it to say shit? I have no clue. It's very weird to me and fascinating at the same time. Like I'm like, why do they say that stuff when there's no validation or there's like if the doll started moving, okay. I would be like, whoo, something's attached to that doll, like, or likes the doll or plays with it. Yes. It did nothing. It sat in the box, stared at us. It had weird, creepy bangs. Like its haircut was the creepiest thing on that doll. Like the hair looked like Lord Farquaad. So I always say go do a paranormal investigate, do a guided one. And if you guys are interested, do the one in Savannah. The Savannah Theater was literally one of the best, most favorite hauntings. I know it's guided, they give all the history, but oh my gosh, it's huge. The crew was amazing that did it. I mean, it was just so much fun. I'm looking forward to Three Veils Paranormal, which is our all-female paranormal group. I am so looking forward to doing more investigations, getting more spirit on camera because there's so many like non-believers that when you can actually capture spirit on camera, it just validates that there's more to this life, that, our souls don't die, they don't move on, all that stuff, right? So do it. And one day, not this year, but in the coming years, Three Veils Paranormal is going to grow where you might be able to come investigate with us. So that is one of our goals for us as well, where we're going to be, hosting events too to help guide you in a safe place where you feel comfortable to connect with spirit because it is so much fun, y'all. But anyways, I just wanted to share that little tidbit today. It's just something on my mind, just something I was thinking about. I don't want to be in anybody's drama or anything like that, but it is fascinating how more and more people are getting like debunked or, are so fraudulent and preying on the grieving. Just always, always, always be careful of who you put your energy with, who you choose to book with, because it does make a difference. It really does. And you always want to go with someone that is ethical, somebody that actually cares about what they're doing, and somebody that has studied it, and somebody that, knows just all of it, just all the ins and outs of dealing with loved ones in a safe place where you feel better and more comforted when you leave that session. So, anyways, I've rambled on enough. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have any questions, let me know. Please give me topics that you would like me to discuss on the podcast, and I will have more interviews as well coming up in the near future. So I hope you all have a beautiful day and namaste.